The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second edition of the Bucklebomb Live After Elite Edition, and we got a full house here for you tonight. You got me, you got Orlando, we have Seven Alexander, and the all-elite bearded genius, Gary Joe. How is everyone tonight?
Very
good.
well.
Yes.
I'm very tired. And I keep thinking, I was like, who the fuck is Gary? Right? Every fucking time. Good morning.
Hi.
So, lots of tidbits to get to this week. First up on Sunday, we had the first ever Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Tony Khan says it's a success, $5 million in buys. You started talking about Forbidden Door 2. What was your guys' overall thoughts on Forbidden Door? Orlando, we'll start with you.
I enjoyed the pay-per-view, for me, like certain matches, felt a little slow and such, but it picked up certain matches. Like I'm happy to see Okada, he performed really well, with Cole and Hangman and, Jay White. And I'm happy that more people are going to see Jay White because, of course, he wrestled for Impact for a little bit. So now a wider audience are seeing what Jay White can do in the United States, because unfortunately Impact is very small, I'm happy for Moxley being the new champ. Congrats to him. So, and also FTR.
Yes.
Triple trans.
Now 7-star FTR after winning their 7th major tag team championship. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And also thoughts out to Adam Cole, who looks like he suffered a concussion during that match, and they ended that one early.
Yeah.
Thankfully, not continuing on with that match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. That sucks.
Seven, what were your thoughts on Forbidden Door?
It was really good. I was really interested in seeing how the fan reaction would be towards the wrestlers from New Japan, because let's be honest, when people were debuting in New Japan, a lot of the fans didn't really know who they were. And that's just that is. So I was really interested to see the different interactions. Would they be as hot crowd for everybody as they are in a normal AEW ring or show? But the fans delivered. We get, as much as we give the wrestlers credit, we also got to give the fans credit because they do make part of the show. I think they did amazing. And it was overall just a really good show. I can't think of one bad match. We all have our favorites, but I can't think of a single bad match that there was.
Yeah, and I'll admit I'm one of those fans who didn't really know much about New Japan guys admittedly, up until maybe the last month or so, and I started getting introduced on AEW TV. For me, match of the night was Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay. That match, which is off the charts. Orange, again, showing that he's more than just a gimmick.
Mm-hmm. And Bleacher Report, please fix your gear, man. I missed the finish. Sorry.
Don't get me started, man. I had technical difficulties myself. I purchased it, and look, I had no access. I missed probably the first 5 minutes of the actual show because it's saying I did not purchase.
Mm-hmm.
No, long story.
I got that same error message, but I purchased it earlier that week because I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to watch it live. Lucky I was, but yeah, I almost gave something. I was going to. Sarah told me it worked fine.
Gary, what were your thoughts of the pay-per-view?
I do like what all of you guys were saying. Brian was spot on about the crowd. This is why I love AEW fans, man. They really, really make the show so much better with them being so rejuvenated and just hyped for the show. Sarah, you said it perfectly. Orange Cassidy and Ospreay, just out of this world. This is why I love Orange Cassidy, man. I think pretty much all of us actually predicted Orange Cassidy and Ospreay will possibly be the match of the night, and we were right on that. So good for that.
I just a 4-way tag match or a triple threat tag match, whichever it was, for two titles.
That was a good
That
one.
was right behind him.
That was a good one too, for sure. I like the storytelling with. I don't know if Dax is injured or not because the way he was wrestling tonight, just it would have mistaken to anybody. So,
When I saw
but yeah,
said he had a separated shoulder. I think he recovered that quickly though.
Yeah.
no, he
Maybe it
sure
was like
did
a
after.
stinger. Maybe it was a stinger, I mean, like for me, it was just like that was my disappointing match of the night because it's just like the momentum was like, it flatlined it because like of Dax's injury. So like, but I'm happy they still were able to do the finish. So
Absolutely. Um,
One of the other big things
yeah.
we got out of the night, we got, a lot of speculation who Zack Sabre Jr.'s opponent was going to be, and we got the new signee, Claudio Castronelli.
What a pop that was. Damn. Like, Sean Bally was messaging me. Him and I always message each other throughout the night for pay per views. At first, him and I really thought it was going to be Johnny Gargano because of the theme song and the way Claudio just rushed out right from the tunnel. So,
mhm.
could have mistaken anybody with Johnny Gargano. But either way, I'm glad it's Claudio. I mean, tonight he showed some good promise either way.
Hmm. I mean, for me, it was shocking because like I thought like because he wanted to resign with WWE and because his value was like he was asking for more money. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe he just wanted to like take a little break and then try again. But okay, I mean, I'm happy for him. Like, there's going to be a lot new matchups for him. I mean, we'll get into the match in Dynamite with all the people that he kind of like destroyed, but you know, I'm happy for him actually because like at least it will show like what he can do and you know, disappointing like 10, 11 years that he had in WWE. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm okay. So with the contract thing, I don't necessarily know if he wanted to go to stay with WWE. I know that his asking price was super super high,
Hmm.
and that a lot of indies are trying to book him, but just wasn't able to. That
Yeah.
could have been an idea where Tony was like, "Hey, I want you to debut here before you debut anywhere else. Just mark up your prices. That way, they have an excuse not to book you, et cetera, et cetera." I
Hmm.
could very easily see that happening more than just trying to hold out for the biggest. Because I don't know. I mean, that's just my
Yeah.
opinion on it.
I
We're
can see.
right. We don't really know. That's the thing. Like for
Yeah.
me, like from reading the reports, it's just like because his pricing was high, I was just like, okay, so he knows his value, he knows his worth, which is good thing that he should know that. So I'm happy to see what he can do in AEW. So
Could have
Yeah.
been a situation too where he's like, okay, I want to take a little vacation, but if I get an offer for this much money, yeah, I'll come back for a match or two.
of course,
Of course, with the high of getting one great new signee, we lose another signee. Allen, number 5, Angels from Dark Order. Contract ends tomorrow, and he is not being resigned. Although the interview, I believe, was Sean Ross Sapp. We said he was offered a per appearance deal, but Allen turned that down. He wants to see what he can do in the Indies.
I'm
I
happy
say,
for the guy.
yeah, I'm
Go
hoping
ahead.
Impact gets him.
Dude,
That
he would
that
be really
X
good for the X
division with
division.
him. I mean, I'm just like I'm thinking like him versus like Trey Miguel, him versus Speedballs. I'm just already thinking like those matches, and he's young, so he could always come back if he wants to.
GCW, him versus Ninja Mac, Jordan Oliver, and who else they got? Kevin Blackwood. Like, there's so many. There's a list that he could just go through and be happy for a very long
You
time.
can go to your favorite place to fight.
That is also true.
So
And by the
Actually,
way,
I think
for
Trey
our
Miguel is there coming next 2 weeks from now.
yeah.
Anyways,
I think I saw that he also lives there. Number 5. So I mean, like I think he lives in California. So there you go.
for our UK fans, GCW announced they will be doing a show over in the UK September 17th, I believe it was. So,
That is correct. Yep. I shared a couple of those posts of Joey Janela being on the poster. So,
yeah.
yeah.
UK is getting some good shows right now. They got GCW, and then they're gonna get Clash of the Champions. Like finally a pay per view for them for almost 30 years. So
Yeah.
happy for the
I
UK
think
fans.
Yeah, I think the GCW crowd that's going to appear there is going to be insane.
Of course, yeah.
I can't wait.
Might have to check that one out. That'll be a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, since we're on the topic of GCW, real quick, they have a 4-pack this weekend starting Thursday. Check it out. They have a thing for Fight TV, which is $29.99 for 4 shows. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then one on Monday. Definitely check it out.
For those non-math nerds, that's $7.50 per show, which is a really good deal.
That is good. Yeah.
Did not know that.
So we'll get into tonight's event, Blood and Guts. Only a couple matches. So we had Ethan Page open against Orange Cassidy, who had his new theme song, well, not really new, his old theme song from the Indies that he's been using on AEW. Beat Ethan Page, and they squashed rumors of Chuck Taylor being gone because he erased a lot of his AEW stuff off Twitter or erased Twitter completely. But as we saw right at the top of the show, he's still hanging around.
I mean, maybe. Well, for my opinion, this is my opinion. Maybe he just did like a little last goodbye. Maybe, I don't know. Like, he just came out with his best friends, and
It's funny that you said that, Orlando, because I thought about that a little bit too. Because we're getting a hug with all three of them. How it, what they're known for, and they did that tonight. So maybe that's the final goodbye.
Yeah.
I hope not. Chuck is. I love the guy, but like I say about every talent out there, if they want to explore to do other opportunities, I will be happy for them. So we shall see what happens with Chuck for sure.
Give us just one time a reunion of Chuck and Johnny in a GCW event. Just once,
And then, of course, in a match of interesting turn events, we did have Jade Cargill up against Layla. I can't remember her last name. Anybody remember her?
Layla Gray?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Layla Gray, yeah.
Pretty much a squash match.
Yeah.
And Jade challenging, or they brought up Chris Statlander and Athena's name. They came out for the charge.
How dare he say that they're lazy? Huh? How dare he? The nerve.
It was an obvious step to get them out there so that Layla Gray can pull a surprise turn, and Smelling Bee is the new baddie.
Well, like temporary baddie, because it seemed like Jay didn't want to do nothing with her. So. She was like,
yeah.
You did your job, thank you, bye.
that I do admit. That was one thing that was weird to me. Like, you beat her in a squash, and then you have her join the baddie section or whatever. That was really weird to me. They better, I'm telling you, they better not fuck over Statlander. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue.
We'll see if Layla Gray is still around next week. Speaking of next week, we did get one match announcement for next week. Wardlow will be challenging for the TBS Championship in Rochester, which I'll be there, in a street fight.
You know what? You deserve this, Sarah, because it's been has it been a year? They went the last time?
Not quite. I think it was October, which they came. Which, by the way, there was a TNT title change there in Rochester as well. So we'll see if there's a second one.
We shall see. Don't worry, Miami still has Malachi Black's debut. So, and the first show ever that the crowd was insane for that. So I'm so happy that I went to that.
Yeah, that's true. But I got to think, with the fact that it's a street fight, Scorpio Sky brought that up, shenanigans are bound to happen.
Oh, of course.
You don't want to make Wardlow lose because of the hot momentum that he's got going, too. So if he loses, sure, there could be that rematch, but not with this really good momentum that he's having. And I know it's another TNT title change again, but just like with Gunther with WWE, I think they will give some good relevant moments, a good title run for Wardlow. Finally make that TNT title prestige, unless you want to deal with Miro still having a very good point by shitting on the TNT title today, which I do agree with him. Just saying. So
Devin,
there
any
you go.
thoughts?
Honestly, it could go either way. I obviously a huge fan of Wardlow. I think that he deserves it, but do I think that him losing a belt and creating kind of a feud to get it, or not losing the belt, but losing that opportunity because of shenanigans, I don't think it hurts him. I think it just depends on what creative or lack they don't have creative, what they've decided that they kind of want to do with it. I'm okay with either or, as long as he ends up getting the belt
Okay.
at some point.
Hmm.
And of course, we had, a late match announcement would be Danhausen and two mystery opponents taking on the Gun Club and Max Caster. Come to find out, the tag team partners were FTR.
Yeah. Anybody dance to their theme music? I just love their theme music. FTR's theme music is just like, it's just so much like 80s throwback, It's just like,
It's such an 80s theme. It's great, though.
I know, right? It's just, and it fits them. They're like, to me, it's just like it fits them so well.
I mean, if I could be honest, when they first came out with that, when they were heels, I'm thinking, and now like literally just the momentum shifts when you hear it, and you're like, I agree with you guys. I don't dance to it, but maybe I bob my head like a cockatoo. That's probably about it. But yes, it's very catchy for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Gary over there. I don't necessarily dance to it, but I definitely, I mean, I'm a huge, huge fan of FTR. Their passion, their momentum, everything is perfect for them.
Their throwback
I
style.
think, yeah, I think that they're one of a kind. So whatever they want to do, I'm going to support them as long as they keep busting. I mean, they're going to keep busting their ass in the ring. Like, it's just who they are.
They just
And
got
they are.
one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I mean, and they're great. Like, whatever they want to do, I'm going to be on their train. I'm a longtime fan of theirs. So whatever they want to do, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, and they got one more championship to go for. That's the
Oh.
Impact Tag Championships.
Mm.
Then they
Well.
could say they have all like the gold from major companies, So they have it from AAA, New Japan, WWE, AEW. So
What about the NWA Tag Team Championships?
nobody counts that. Sorry.
Orlando.
Oof.
I'm sorry. I'm
Ouch.
kidding. I know.
No, he's not.
Corner.
And you know what? MWA is trying to make a comeback, So you got to respect them for that,
It's.
So
I'm sorry. I support all companies. I don't watch them every week like everybody does. It's hard to get into them because it's not my cup of tea. But hey, it has that old school NWA feel. So hey, if you're that big NWA fan, I'm very happy for you who watches. So
mhm, But yeah, so
All right. Yeah, do we ever think we would see FTR team up with Danhausen?
No.
and,
But it was magic.
and this is why I love Tony, because he believes in that hometown hero mentality. I was saying this for like a week now to, other chats. I said, gosh, Danhausen really deserves a match in his hometown.
Mhm.
And again,
Yeah.
he makes it happen, and Danhausen picked up the win. So
yeah.
Perhaps the bigger story coming out of that, though, is in the middle of the match, while the ref is distracted, we see Anthony Bowens, who's injured, jump into the ring, hits Austin Gunn with the crutch. We think, oh my god, Anthony Bowens is back. Great. Nope, the bigger story is Billy Gunn turning on his kids and siding with Max and Anthony Bowens.
But Daddy always goes for his tricks, so I mean,
the cereal?
No.
I had to steal Sarah's pun for once.
Hey, look,
okay?
you got Max Caster and Anthony Bowen. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I really think it's going to be a swerve, though. I mean, we're going to see Billy Gunn join his kids eventually. I've been saying this all along. I don't want to see the Ass Boys and, of course, the Acclaim together. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. So eventually I said, we're going to see a turn. And
Yeah.
you're going to see that be the Ass Boys. And then you're
Mhm.
going to see a feud with the Ass Boys and, of course, the Acclaimed. So
Mhm.
that's really fun, in my opinion. So,
I think because Anthony Bowen is injured, I think that's probably why they're halting it, because I think that was the plan. So
oh, I agree.
Yeah. It
Very
looks
good
like they're
point.
turning the Acclaimed into baby faces, so.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Caster is so over right now.
I mean, that Flint line, I can't.
It was beautiful, man.
I couldn't. I was just like, wow, he went there.
I mean, I'm surprised, but not surprised.
What happened?
So I'm surprised, but not surprised at the same time.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he say? I think I totally missed it.
He said that he'll make Danhausen drink Flint water or something like that. I don't remember the
Water.
exact wording, but like, yeah. I was like, you want him to die? Damn.
Oh, and Sarah, I just realized because I had an update on Twitter. We totally forgot one more thing. We saw a heel turn, everybody. It was a good talk about swerves here. We had Luchasaurus turn heel. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I love it.
I mean, it makes sense because, of course, Jungle Boy is going to be the bigger star, so this is going to help him. So
Exactly, Orlando.
I'm hoping that Luchasaurus at least gets a decent run as a heel. So we'll see. Maybe like another year as a heel, and maybe he'll join back with Jungle Boy. Maybe and they'll team up again. But I just want him to have at least a good, decent heel run. So.
I mean, based on what happened, what we saw last week when Christian whispered something in his ear, he's got some sort of blackmail, something over Luchasaurus, and kind of curious what that is. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, at all curious.
And I mean, of course, Luchasaurus has the new darker tone mask as well.
Why can't he like go with red or like some other color? I mean, like, why it got to be gray? Well, I mean, the dinosaurs were kind of grayish colors. I get it, but
I mean,
I was like, what dinosaur? Like, what T-Rex are you looking at that's fucking red?
they showed pictures. I went to science class. Okay, they showed like different colors of them. Move along. Anyways,
5-year-old Orlando, the coloring book. I'm going to draw this dinosaur red.
anyways.
Yes. Moving on to the hour-long main event, we had the Blood and Guts match, and my God, was this one brutal.
If I could be totally honest,
No,
obviously, I like what a difference it feels when a pandemic blood and guts match going on to a 13,000 plus arena. It's just, I really thought the crowd was eventually going to get a little dialed down with a little bit of boredom because, again, 60 plus minutes in a match can be a lot, but damn, even sitting at home this match was through the roof exciting. I never got bored whatsoever, and this is why I trust TK with some booking. I mean, because damn, this was absolutely amazing and made Claudio look good. You literally sense tension with Claudio and Kingston. It's really good storytelling on that end. I'm just glad we saw a different bump this time, though. That, like, literally, the thing with Sammy Guevara was really cool. The only thing that I didn't know if you guys caught it, but this is actually the anniversary of Mick Foley getting tossed from the Hell in a Cell. So, interesting thing, because I thought about that right away. I'm like, I'm a big Undertaker fan, so I remember that. So, but who cares? Great match. Highly recommend anybody to watch anything on the show. Definitely watch the main event.
For me, I enjoyed the pacing of it because like I think that's probably how they got the crowd not to get bored of it. So like from top to bottom, of course you had Cesaro to start because like he get a taste of like first Sammy Guevara, then Daniel Garcia, and then we got like a going back in time with Jake Hager, with the Real Americans from WWE. So I mean, like every single person like Claudio has probably had a feud with. I think he wrestled Jericho. I don't remember. It's been a while, so it's probably in the network in Peacock somewhere. But yeah, so so it was just amazing, like all the people he was able to face there, and all the spots, the chair shots, the the thumbtacks. I'm still wondering how one of the guys get hung from the cage. Like, how did he get outside?
I
There's just
don't
so
know.
much going on.
I know. I was just
Exactly.
like, how was he like hanging? It was so weird, but but it was a good main event. I have to say, it was a really good.
I mean, we saw the table. We saw Eddie bring the rubbing alcohol. I'm wondering if they were supposed to light that table on fire, and then someone just forgot to bring a lighter.
Well, no, because I think what happened was Ty Conti. I think it was an error because they didn't make a hole to put in like I think the flame fuel, the flame thing. And I think when Jericho was trying to get it, it probably spilled. So probably they couldn't do the spot. Because I saw it like it was like they were trying to squeeze in like a little small little like round hole. I was like, how are you gonna squeeze a big bottle like that? It was so weird.
Observing Orlando. I'm observing.
Mhm.
So coming up this weekend, we do have Money in the Bank on Saturday night. Still feels weird having premium live events for WWE on a Saturday this year. Still feels weird. Anybody got any expectations for Money in the Bank? Anybody they want to win Money in the Bank
Seth
match?
Rollins. That's the first thing that comes to mind is Seth Rollins. I would love to see.
I would be okay with Sheamus winning though.
Mhm. I would love it if Sammy wins it because at least that would be an interesting story because of him with Roman and the Usos. Like spark a little like looking at him differently because he has the Money in the Bank. So
I mean, I love Sammy, dude. I love the guy a lot. Just my biggest concern if that happens is I finally want this to be a Money in the Bank winner taken seriously. And this is your chance because, again, I mean, there's some good names in there. And like I said, I would love to see the Heist Part 2 with Seth Rollins. I think that's what they should do. Nothing against Rollins, but not Rollins, Roman being a part timer now. I really hope they do that.
I mean, what if they have Drew win it and cash in at the Clash at the Castle?
That's a possibility.
I mean, because everybody's saying it has to be Drew versus Roman at that pay per view because that's like the biggest thing for that pay per view. So
True.
For the women's side, I would love it if Liv Morgan wins it because I think she needs something. And then hopefully she could like hold it on for a while because at least for the women they need somebody to hold it for a while.
Yeah, they need somebody to hold that for more than 48 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
The last 3 years.
I mean,
yeah.
who's in the women's? Because if I could be totally honest, I don't know who.
It's Asuka, Becky, Raquel, Lacey, Liv, Alexa, and Shotzi.
Alexa Bliss. She deserves it. If you want
After
to
what
make
they
her
did with
happy.
her, yeah, exactly. After what they did with her, yeah. I mean, that would be like, oh, here you go. Like, you can hold on for it. I mean, it would make sense. And also, she wants to have a Lily doll with a Money in the Bank, and that will probably sell merch.
She still has the doll, really.
Yeah. Look, that doll sells for them. So she's not letting that go.
Sold blow up dolls, Orlando.
Yeah. I mean, look, I really don't want to let that go. Like, look at how many John Cena shirts he has. Like, he has, like, what, 50?
1 or 2 more a year.
Oh
Any
yeah,
thoughts?
Brian. What about you?
This is actually how do I say this? Okay, so this is the first time. Like, I didn't even know Money in the Bank was Saturday. This coming Saturday. So I was like, oh, who's in it? And then you guys were talking about it, and I just was like, I don't know. Women's, I would love Shotzi to win. As far as the guys, I mean, I don't know. Seth.
Mhm.
We'll go with Seth. I like
Okay.
Seth.
Sarah, what about you? Who are you picking?
I would love Seth to win, but I could also see Drew winning and Alexa Bliss or Becky to win.
No.
It's going to be Drew
hmm
because he's going to cash it in at England so he can finally get that pop that he's always wanted.
Mhm.
And deserves.
I
Yeah.
hope
He does
so.
deserve it.
I
Mhm.
hope so. This title reign of Roman is really boring me to death here.
Mhm.
All right, so one last thing before we wrap it up here. Monday Night in Raw, we had the 20-year anniversary celebration for John Cena. Congrats to him. It's hard to make it anywhere for 20 years, especially nowadays. Any favorite John Cena moments from anybody?
Plain and simple for me. Battle raps. I mean, John, when he first did his gimmick, like,
Thuganomics.
yeah,
Mhm.
thugonomics. I mean, John, if I could be honest with you guys, like, I didn't get into WWE wholeheartedly until the demise of WCW. So obviously, a year later, John comes in our laps. Like literally 6 months into his career, they change him around to basic thugonomics, and John made me a big fan of WWE. He really, really did. So if it's not the battle raps, the Make a Wish stuff that the guy does, that's one of the reasons why I love Cena.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
he
nobody's beating him with that. Nobody's going to beat him on that
no,
record.
The only,
650 wishes. I mean, that's wow.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
awesome. So
I mean, for me, my favorite memory has got to be, that first night that, slaps Kurt Angle, ruthless aggression.
mhm.
So, well, first off, he's never came in my lap, so I don't know how Gary got that. He got that treatment.
That's a special
But
make
yeah, I was like, what the hell? I feel cheated.
I know,
Um,
right?
so actually, I have a John Cena story from over 20 years ago. I started training in wrestling when I was 18. Me and a group of guys from training actually went to a local SmackDown in Tucson, Arizona, where I'm originally from. The thing about that is WWE never visited Tucson. Like it was always considered small. It was the first big one that I could remember that was there. So we went, we saw it, and then John Cena, who was in UPW training, which was a school in it was kind of like a developmental because a lot of people that ended up there ended up going into WWE. Anyways, he was known as Prototype. He had a dark match there, and I remember because the way that the arena is, like you could exit, but you could see like down below, like the pit where all the trucks are, et cetera, et cetera. And John Cena was talking with all the fans, and I remember specifically somebody being like, "You're just a jobber" or something, and it was a really weird experience. He's all, yeah, but I'm here and you're there, kind of thing. And just kind of see that, how that went full circle. Like for fans, I don't care who you are, like if you're barely a watch or whatever, think about like everybody had to start somewhere. Like always respect the people that are go into this ring because one, you never know who they're going to end up being. Like when we all saw Prototype with a mohawk, did we all think that he was going to be John Cena? Hell no. But look at him now. Also, just fucking respect the people that go into this ring because it's not easy. Like it's not what anybody thinks. It's whatever. But yeah, that was my John Cena. Probably my favorite John Cena memory that I have, and it was cool that I got to see that in person.
Yeah. For me, I was the John Cena hater. I hated him. I didn't like him. Like, I think when he became champion, I didn't really like it, and so every feud that he went, I always went for the other person. Like always, I was actually became a Randy Orton fan because when he was feuding with John Cena, I was just like, that is like, it's like that. What is it? Like Taker and Shawn and Brett versus Shawn, and then like Austin versus The Rock. I felt like that was like this that generation's like with Randy versus John Cena because their matches were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a lot of matches, but I mean, like it was really good each match that they had. So, but yeah, I was a John Cena hater. I mean, I respect him now, but I was just like back. I mean, like there was a lot of people that hated him
Yeah.
back in the day. I mean, trust me, there was a lot of people. I think there's still a lot of people that still hate him to this day. But I mean, that's a
So
different.
I just thought of something. So again, when I was really growing into my love for John, I remember him having like literally the steel chain, the padlock, all that around his neck. I remember I was wearing that in front of my gram one day, and my gram was like, "When are you going to storage?" And I was like, "No," and I told her why, and she's like, "You kids are stupid."
That's
So
that's wrong.
yeah,
Go
one of my
Greg.
favorite memories with my gram. She was
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up for tonight unless anybody has anything else.
No,
No,
not today.
Not today.
All right, well, check us out. Tomorrow we have, Jay and I have our Acquired Taste show. We are doing a dessert edition for the show. Friday, a bracket challenge show. We did the best video game character ever. Stay tuned to find out who is the shocking win. And Saturday, maybe we get enough time, we'll do a Money in the Bank preview show, perhaps. We will see where my schedule is. Until then, we will catch you guys next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.